Anything that's authentic, I think, is really cool. And when it's genuine and it looks like you captured somebody well and authentically, they have a genuine expression, you feel like you know them. It's really stunning. And I sympathize with people who would think, their nose is crooked. That's not good. I get that. But you're a human and you're unique, and if I can capture that well, it's a really cool image, even if your nose is crooked.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like revelatory for people in the sense that, you're capturing people's beauty in a way that's unique to them. You help your clients to wear that expression, to capture that on film. And so that's huge.
You Are Beautiful, podcast with J. Kim, ND.
Welcome to the You Are Beautiful podcast with J. Kim, MD. I'm your host, Dr. J. Kim, a double board certified facial plastic surgeon, and I'm on a mission to make the world a more beautiful place. I want to start with you. There are 3 undeniable truths that you must embrace in here and in your mind. Number 1, you are beautiful. Number 2, you are unique. And number 3, you are worth it. Let's dive into today's episode. Today, I have with me a very special guest. This is Jon Meadows, and he is a high-end headshot photographer in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Not only does he capture your beauty, but he has a secret sauce that he adds for his clients when he captures their most beautiful self for the headshots. So I want to welcome Jon Meadows to the podcast. Hi, Jon. Thanks for joining me on the You Are Beautiful podcast.
Hey, Jay. Thanks for having me. I love the idea of the podcast. Excited to get to talk to you again. It's been a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with, what was your inspiration to get into photography and in particular, build this business called High-End Headshots?
Sure. Well, initially, really I was photographing touristy stuff in London. I was posting it on Facebook. I was on a semester abroad there. My mom said that I might be good at photography, I guess, based on how I was composing the shots. And that stuck with me for 6 years until I got a professional camera and started trying to learn. The only thing I thought I knew was that I didn't want to photograph people, but I wanted to make some money with it. And I kind of stepped backwards into it. I got offered the chance to make $100 with photography by photographing a headshot. And I knew I should say yes, because that's what I was trying to do, was make money with photography, although I was nervous about photographing people. And I think it was really because I didn't know how to light them and I didn't know how to coach them. I knew that even if I learned how to light them, as awkward as that would be to learn with someone there saying like, oh, no, you don't look good like that. Let me try this. Like, oh, that doesn't work either. Even if I learned the lighting, I knew that I would just tell them to say cheese or to smile or just tell them like, look good expression, please. And that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I found a mentor who helped me learn both of those things. And I've been honing that for 6 years now.
So when I think about the professional photographs that I've had, I started my plastic surgery office in 2019. And the first set of headshots that I had, they were, good quality, no doubt about it. The thing is, though, that, the person doing the photographer was like, smile. And honestly, I didn't know how to smile. And then in 2022, I met up with you and I had my professional photographs taken with you, and it was a totally different experience. So tell me a little bit more about what you do with your clients in terms of coaching them through how to smile, how to put on their best expression.
Yeah, sure. So I think most people do know how to smile when they are smiling. Like they don't know intellectually what it feels like to smile when you're told to smile, but they do smile all the time. And most people look great. You wouldn't think, oh, what's up with their smile? Like, that's a weird expression. You see them laugh and then you see them smile and they fade back to normal and you're like, they look great. Um, the pressure is what causes people to freeze up a little bit and not know how to move their face in the right way. I find that I can coach people without humor for small smiles. There's not a whole lot going on in the mouth with a very small smile, closed lips. The eyes have to match though, so I coach mostly on
Okay.
the eyes when we're doing small smiles, and then I make people laugh. Pretty much everyone except for my wife thinks I'm very funny, so I'm able to get laughs, real laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And when you really, really laugh, you're genuine and unsettled. Your mouth is going around, your face is moving in ways that often look actually like endearing. It's cool to see pictures of people laughing most of the time. Occasionally people like half blink eyes and it's weird in a still image. But that's genuine and unsettled when you're going, ha, 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 ha. Your mouth is open. But when you have that genuinely, people don't go, ha, 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 ha.
Right.
They fade into big and genuine, settled smiles, and then medium, and then small, and then it's not funny anymore. So they stop smiling.
Right.
So occasionally we get a really cool laughing shot that's genuine and pretty settled, but often it's after the smile that we get the gold that is genuine. So it looks genuine. They're not trying to smile big. They're actually fading down. And so this is what I really love about my work. People, I think, often see that my lighting is really good. But there are other people that light headshots very well. To me, if someone's lit very well, photographed with a professional camera, and they look kind of out to lunch, like they're not really tuned in, looks like they might not even know their picture is being taken, then that's not enough. I actually coach photographers, and I've had people tell me that, well, I have to put them at ease. I'm like, yeah, but if they just look not freaked out, that's not enough. I want them to look positively confident, competent, like someone who it's more like meeting them in person than other headshots. I want people to feel connected to them and like they know them more than someone telling someone to say cheese and taking their picture.
Absolutely. So, something that comes to mind is, you do headshots for all kinds of professionals. And something that I want to ask about is, do you coach the expression based on their line of work? And to what degree do you do that versus, if their overall gestalt is, let's say, not superimposing, but they're in a line of work that's superimposing, for example. How do you reconcile those two?
Sure. It does matter what you do and your normal way of interacting professionally. We have different sides of us. I mean, I run around and tickle my kids, but I don't do that with clients. It's genuine when maybe I'll add that in as a special add-on. If you want to be tickled, let me know. But there are multiple genuine sides of us. So I'm not faking it when I'm with my kids, and I'm not acting, different than I am with clients. So I think I have a pretty good sense of getting a feel of someone quickly. And I know what they do. There are interesting professions like lawyers who are often adversarial, but they have clients. So it's an interesting balance. You want a nice lawyer to you, and you want a ruthless lawyer for them.
Yep.
It's getting a feel of the person and having awareness of what they do, and just reviewing images. I feel like for one criminal lawyer or something, a commercial corporate lawyer, it could be that a bigger smile works well for that one, and a smaller smile works better for that one. It's a matter of feeling it out. It's subjective. So I think of myself as a guide. I'm a professional. I'm an expert at headshots and expressions. I'm good at putting words to expressions. Like, see, these are very different, but this one feels more professional, and this one feels more like this is just you as a person. And you look smarter. You look smart in both, but you look like super smart over here. That kind of stuff. So I'm there to guide them, help them see images, and make recommendations. But it is subjective, and so someone could be very happy person, be laughing in the session, but they could have a job that wouldn't require them to be serious, but they want to be serious because of the kinds of clients they're going to be interacting with. Some people want to look, you'd love this actually. Some people want to look older.
Interesting. Actually, that's why I don't dye. That's why I don't dye my hair, so I look older to my patients.
Right. I'm getting a little. I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, maybe I could charge more now.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's got gray hair. So
or
it's yeah, exactly. So it's a matter of looking at the images we actually get, talking through it with the client, getting a sense. In the middle and end of a session, I'll tell someone, "Oh, I like this, but I don't think you will." And sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong, but I adjust how I'm coaching them with the feedback I get.
And I remember during our session, there were some photos where you said that exact thing. I think this captures you really well, or I like this photo a lot. And then, that might not have been like the top photo in terms of the ones I liked.
Right.
So it's good that, you talk through that during the session to see, hey, which one conveys the image that I want to the most.
Right. If I think it's a not a good shot for your branding, I'll let you know. I've had people say like, "Oh, I like that." I'm like, "Well, look at the mouth. There's tension in there, and then it's a little bit too angled. Like, you wouldn't talk to someone like that. If I talked to you like this for a minute, you'd be wondering what was wrong with me." And they're like, often when I really say like, "I don't think this is the best. Here's a reason or two why they see it, and they're, oh yeah, I really like the hair. That's what the hair was perfect there." I'm like, okay, well, look at the next one. I doubt the hair changed that much in half a second. And they're like, oh yeah, that's better. I like that. So I'm a guide and an expert, but there's a subjective element to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Something I kind of wanted to go back to was what you said about the eyes when it comes to smile. And, one of the most common surgeries that I perform is actually eyelid surgery to help bring out brighter, more beautiful eyes. So when it comes to expression coaching and people's eyes, how do you guide them through that?
It's a weird thing. When we smile, our eyes narrow. So, well, some people come in and they're like, I have beautiful eyes, so I want them to be like this, like big, because they're really nice. How I want them to narrow the eyes is by the bottom eyelids coming up. So I like eyes too. But so an eye lift can be nice because that's the part that can fold down. It can cause shadows in the eyes. But what I focus on mostly is bringing the bottom eyelids up, because that's what happens when we smile. So narrower eyes, given a particular eye size and shape, if you narrow your eyes, that's what makes the mouth look like a real smile.
Got it. And so, it's funny because, COVID seems like so long ago now, but when we were more commonly wearing masks, we could still tell if somebody was smiling by the look of their eyes, right?
Yes. It was probably the only good thing about COVID. But people got that. I saw a difference in my clients. They're like, really? The eyes are involved? And then with masks, they're like, yeah, oh yeah, I know. Yeah. They were on board. Another interesting thing for this podcast that really surprised me, I'm super focused on people's faces too. I would have people come into the studio with the mask on, and at most I had seen an out-of-date headshot. And I was 99% surprised when they took their mask off. I was like, oh, wow, this person's better looking than I thought they would be. So that was just an interesting thing. I thought I would know, when you see this much of a person, you can guess what the rest of their face looks like. I was wrong. Yep. I was always like, oh, cool. These are going to be really
Mm-hmm.
great shots. This guy has a cool look, or this woman has a cool
Yeah.
look.
Did that change your approach in terms of how you do the expression coaching for the mouth?
It just made my job easier. From the time before I was photographing people to the time that I was after, now have a much better appreciation for just the beauty of humans. So um,
Mm.
I think there's a difference between what the kind of human you think is particularly attractive and a difference between what you think is particularly attractive in someone you would, consider marrying or something versus the beauty of every person. So,
Mm-hmm.
just being a human, like I wasn't wanting to photograph people. And to me, that's so crazy now because I think everything else is boring to photograph. You're going to photograph a room with chairs and a table, or
Right.
I mean, wildlife is cool, but you
I
know,
think photographing food would be a lot of fun.
it would be, yeah, it'd be fun. Maybe not after the shoot would be fun,
Sure. When you get to eat.
but yeah, exactly. But anything that's authentic, I think, is really
Mm.
cool, and we all have our insecurities, but when I see, I think probably have fewer insecurities than many people, partly because of the photography. I see that
Mm.
when it's genuine and it looks like you captured somebody well and authentically, they have a genuine expression. You feel like you know them. It's really
Mm.
stunning, and um, I sympathize with people who would think, their nose is crooked. That's not good. I get that, but you're a human and you're unique. And if I can capture that well, it's a really cool image, even if your nose is crooked.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like revelatory for people, in the sense that, you're capturing people's beauty in a way that's unique to them. It's, of course, it's the appearance that every human looks different, right? But it's also that gestalt that you exude to the world. And, you capture that, you help your clients to wear that expression, to capture that on film. And so that's huge. I think that's, really deep, and it's really encouraging for, people, because we're so focused on, looking at ourselves on our phones, and really, like, it's an inaccurate view of us, right? Because of, I mean, the technicalities of lenses and lighting and things like that better than I ever will. But, you're coaching people to capture their most beautiful self, and in a way that's unique to them. So that's really, really awesome.
The compliment I get most is not, "Wow, you made Jim look really handsome," or "You made her look so beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
It's, "Wow, that is so Sue. Like that's her. Like how did you do that? You got that. I like see really who she is. It's not, wow, the makeup's amazing, and or the hair's really nice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about
Yeah.
capturing the person, their essence.
Yeah. And of course, like, hair and makeup do have a role in capturing that. But,
Sure.
if you don't have the palette to start with, you're not going to get the result that you want, right?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to do is just get various levels of confidence and competence and approachability and friendliness, finding
Mm-hmm.
levels that we like. You can't look like you run $1 billion company and you juggle for kids on the weekend at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't be super serious and super fun, but there you can look like you know what you're doing and you're very trustworthy and you're a good person, good to work with. Maybe even you're a fun person, but you can't max out both. So it's all about, does this amount of confidence and competence and this amount of approachability and friendliness go well together, and does it match you? And so that's what we're evaluating throughout the shoot.
Yeah. Awesome. It's cool because, like, when I first started, this office, and I had my headshots from 2019, there was a certain gestalt that those pictures had. And fast forward after 2022, when I had my session with you, and I put those pictures all over my website and social platforms, like it was a new me sort of. And it was displaying something with more gravitas, which you do want from your plastic surgeon, but also a warmth, I want to say, and a welcoming as well. And so your ability to capture that is quite uncanny. So I really want to thank you for that.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you because you're in the studio, big 4x5 piece of wall art with your violin, and people remark on that.
Oh, is that the one where you see kind of the top of my head a little bit, and the instrument, you see the
No,
instrument more?
you had a few. You had a few really cool shots. This is you standing very properly with your violin, facing the camera with your fancy watch on your wrist, and people love that. Everybody talks about it when they come in.
I've had that violin since I was like 10 years old, and it was a gift from my grandfather. So it's kind of like it's very much a part of me. And, even in this setting of being a plastic surgeon, one of the things that I find beauty in outside of my work is music. So, this is my second to last question for you. In terms of finding beauty outside of your work, can you tell me about something where you find that beauty?
We are going to be traveling to Europe. Looking forward to going to one of the towns with the white buildings and the turquoise ocean. So can't wait for that. Next on the list probably is Banff National Park. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
love seeing different parts of the world, different parts of creation, and the snow-capped mountains and the turquoise waters. I really, if I could save money and just be there for 5 minutes, that'd be enough for me. I just want to be on the ground and have
Hmm.
that go into my brain and see that. So uh, that's probably, apart from humans, what I think of when I think of beauty.
I love that. And, you know, there's white buildings, turquoise waters. Sounds really good right now because it's kind of dreary out there.
Yes, liquid water all around.
Yeah, on the ground too. And the last question I have for you, how can people reach you? How can they find you? How can they see more of your work?
Sure, it's highendheadshots.com, HIGHEND, headshots, plural.com. And I get a lot of my business from LinkedIn. I share stuff that helps people know, like, and trust me over there. And then whenever they're ready, they let me know and we get on the phone. I explain how it works and get them scheduled. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or visit the website. And I'm open to connecting, even if you think you don't need a headshot ever.
Again, for those of you listening or tuning in, that's highendheadshots.com. This is Jon Meadows, my favorite photographer in the DC metro area. Again, I want to thank you so much for being my guest on this episode of the You Are Beautiful podcast with J. Kim, MD. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I look forward to seeing more of your wonderful work for your clients.
Thanks, Jay. Love what you're doing here.
All right. Thank you.